Alrighty, good morning. We are live again from Dungog Common, and still a little bit of a breeze, but nothing like what we had yesterday. Good morning to everyone who watches this later. We are here at Dungog Common. We're here to see Sculpture on the Farm. Just waiting to see some faces turn up live, and we'll be ready to go in just a moment or two. So in the meantime, before we begin, I'd just like to acknowledge that we're meeting today on the lands of the Wanarua and Tungog people, and paying my respects to their elders, past, present and emerging. And for everyone who turns up, please let me know who's here, let me know, give me a wave, say hi, and thank you for joining me here today at Dungog Common. Okay, I'm going to turn the camera around, and we'll take off in much more pleasant conditions than we had yesterday. So good morning, whoever that is that's joined us now. We are here for Sculpture on the Farm, and we're at the top of Dungog Common. We're going to walk along the trail, down the hill, back towards the entry point, the gate. I'm not sure if we'll go all the way or if we'll finish halfway down. Hi Annette, good to see you. Thanks for coming back again. It's much nicer. It's much nicer today. Can you hear me? I've got the microphone tucked inside my scarf that I'm wearing, so I'm just making sure that you can hear me okay. Oh, it's so much nicer. Look at this. These are the bushes that we looked at yesterday that were blowing sideways, and barely a movement today. And there are 5 people who have joined now, so let me know who's here, say hi so I can welcome you. And this is the top of the hill, this is the very first, and we are sharing our trail, or part of it, with the mountain bike riders. And this is the start for several mountain bike trails. A little bit low. Okay, all right, let's see if I can rejig that a bit better. I just wanted to get it protected. How's that? That hopefully should be a bit better. So this is the top of the trail. This is the first sculpture, and it's called Big Yellow Taxi. I don't understand the reference because it looks like a big vertebra to me. Hi Rebecca. It looks much better today. Old link didn't work again. Had to go to your page to get you. Really? Oh, I'm sorry about that. I thought I did everything right, but I was doing it from a parked car yesterday, doing it really quickly, trying to get it all sorted, because where we're staying has no reception, no signal whatsoever. So I was really sort of rushing to get it all sorted out. And it says, I was so worried about you yesterday. I know as content creators we entertain, but not at our own peril, and yesterday was dangerous. Yeah, it was a bit, but we were nowhere near any trees with falling branches, so there was that at least. But we did have to drive here along a road that had lots of falling branches on the road. Hi Tish, hi Ronnie, and yeah, Richard's over there on a seat over there somewhere. There he is. He's watching the mountain trail bike riders. So this is our first one. As I said, it looks like a giant backbone to me. I'm not sure the reference to a big yellow taxi, but that's what the title of this one here is. And look at the beautiful landscape we have here. There we go. Okay, let's head off. These guys, I'm going ahead of those because they're tethered together. I wonder what that's about. So I wonder why they're tethered. Hi Lynn, great to see you. So obviously people are having trouble finding me. I'm really sorry about that. I don't know what's happened there. I thought I had the right link. The link isn't working, says Annette. Down. Okay, all right. It seems I've pasted a bad link in, so people are having trouble finding the stream. I've got about 8 people here, but a couple have commented that that the link didn't work. Rich is going to have a go as well. Thank you everyone for persisting and finding me though. I don't know what happened there. Goes to yesterday's stream. That can't be right. Can you change it on the calendar for me, Annette? You know how to do that, don't you? I was certain I changed it. Okay. Sorry everyone. Sorry everyone who hasn't found me. Okay, so this one is called Centered Earth. And around the perimeter of it is all these figures performing different activities. So we've got people who are dancing and different forms of celebration. Richard's found it through the YouTube now. I think it's they mean the link on the calendar. That's the one that I think I put or maybe I didn't update it properly. I don't know. As I said, I was sitting in the car doing it. So there we go. Tish says it reminds me of a dream calendar. It's really lovely, isn't it? And then if we look through the middle, we can get glimpses of the landscape through it. So there, that's that one called Centered Earth 2022, and it's not for sale. So I wonder if it's going to remain here as a permanent sculpture at the top of the hill. All right, we'll head down. We're going to follow the same path as we did yesterday down to that shed, and then the path continues on. So the first few sculptures are ones that we actually saw yesterday, but in a little bit more of a relaxed way. Thank you, Annette. Thank you. Okay. So hopefully a few more people will find us. And this is, as I said yesterday, this is the beautiful, it's the start of the Barrington Tops, but we're on the edge of the Great Dividing Range, which is the mountain range, well, what we call mountains, you guys call hills, but it is a range that runs the entire length of the continent of Australia, from the northern tip of Cape York in Queensland right through to almost to Melbourne in Victoria. And at some points here it reaches a height of around about 1,500 metres. But where we are here I think it's only about 800 or so. I'm not sure if Richard knows how to get to the calendar. Do you know how to get to the calendar? Yeah, I did that. Do you know how to do the calendar? No, he doesn't have it, Annette. Sorry. He does it through the YouTube links. But thank you for doing that for me. Okay, so this one here is called Glow Heart 2023, and the whole theme of it is hearts. There's just hearts all over it with a clock, and it looks like it's been made from or repurposed objects, found objects. It actually looks very, very similar to the entrance to the cafe that we go to a lot in Mayfield, near to where we live. Be interesting to see if it's the same sculptor who has created this. Kind of steampunk, Tish, yeah, it is. With things like metal rods, there's a padlock, there's a horseshoe. So yeah, that's... And I'm guessing that at certain times of the day you might be able to see with the sun glowing behind the hearts, but the sun's too high in the sky for that today, or right now. Andy Brush is the artist. You're fiddling with the sculpture. And then we come to one called Anchor. And we noticed yesterday, and it's easier, I think it's a little bit easier to see when we're not being blown all over the place, that one end of the anchor appears to be embedded, I guess the shank, is that what you call it? There, and then but it's a very cubist anchor. Okay, so that's it there. Anton Poon is the sculptor. A mere $29,900 will land you that for your own backyard. There's our shuttle bus. Ronnie says, reminds me of a jewellery pendant. Oh yeah. I do have to be mindful of where I walk. There's water channels, dry water channels and rocks and things, but they have mown a path for us to walk. We are absolutely blessed with the weather today, and where we are in Dungog is about an hour north of Newcastle. It took us about an hour to get here. We're staying in a small place called Fosterton, which is a further 10 or 15 minutes further north again. We were staying in a cabin in a place called Fosterton Retreat, 65 acres, and we had wallabies visiting us every morning. We were able to sit outside around a fire pit. It was really lovely. And this one here is called Sentinel. Is that Gillian Mark's way down there? Yes, it is, Annette. Down near that spot where the white roof is the Gillian Mark sculpture. So we're just going to head down there, and then we'll be continuing on to see some works that we didn't get to see yesterday. But this one here, Sentinel. Get it against a clear background. Well, I did debate just calling it a day and catching the bus from up the top, but I thought, well, you know, we're here. Why don't we at least show you a little bit. There's some more mountain bike riders heading up to tackle the trail. We could even be the same ones we've already seen, because they're going around and around and around. Wallabies, oh, I've got some photos, Ronnie Lynn, I'll post them. I did actually post one yesterday, but I think we were just moving out of signal range, so it may not have successfully posted. But there was a picture of the fire that we were having, and one of the wallabies that greeted me in the early morning. That's so cute. It was so cute. We had 3 out there this morning, and this one's called Feeding Egret. And I added an egret to my fence. Just a little one. I'm pretty happy with it though. And I'll share that with you guys as well in a day or two when I get back home. Looks like an ibis in profile. Yeah, the ibis has more of a longer sort of curved beak. This is meant to be an egret. I wish a wallaby would greet me. Jealous. Ah, it's such a treat. Even for us, because where we live we don't see wallabies. Living in an urban environment, we don't get to see them at all. So it's delightful, absolutely delightful when we see them. And the driveway from the road up to the cabins is, I guess, about half a kilometre. And there's all little wallabies sitting on the driveway on either side, and as you approach them, they're really skittish. They bound off as soon as the car approaches. Lynn says, I look forward to seeing your egret. I'm pretty happy with my egret. I didn't get the beak exactly right, but I'm still pretty happy with it. And Annette says, I hope you retreated to your cabin with a nice bottle of wine. Well, we had the nice bottle of wine outside in front of the fire pit. But yes, we did have a nice bottle of wine. This one's very very imaginative title. It's called Flower Sculpture, and I think we just might need to get a bit closer to get an idea of what it looks like. Oh, look, it's all bravado, Annette. I've been studying this photograph that I used as my inspiration and really just gave it a go. I don't think there's much talent to it. I really just used a bit of bravado and and yeah, as I said, gave it a go. So this road here is very similar to the driveway that we had to negotiate to get to where we stayed. And we have down beside us just the beautiful rolling hills of the Dungog area. They would have been great, Annette. I would have loved to have done that. Richard's posing in front of Gillian Marks. So this one's called Tandem Lovers. There we have these riders coming back up the hill. Oh.
So you can sit on the back?
Gillian Mark normally invite people to sit on their sculptures.
And that's a Gillian Mark?
A Gillian Mark.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So therefore, you think it's all right for her to sit?
I don't see any reason why not. They're normally pretty good about it. You want me to sit on it first? Oh, okay. I've got to unplug my microphone to do that. Here we go.
Is that the same as the one at Soldiers Point?
Yeah. There's quite a few around the Nelson Bay area.
Yeah, and I think they are designed to sit on.
You going to sit on?
Yeah.
Whoops, don't. Okay. Is that enough? I think that's enough. Okay. Now I've just got to get off again. Okay. Yeah, right. Rich is going to steal my gimbal now. He's stealing it. Yeah, I know. There we go. Annette says we should have did it. It was certainly cold enough, but a bit rainy. This is so cute. I really like this one. I really like this one over here. And this artist has two more sculptures down in the marquee. Most of the sculptures for this event are actually in a big marquee right down the bottom of the hill. We're not going to get to see those today, so I took a few photos there yesterday. So this is called Dove of Peace by Deborah Halpern, and 180,000 for this one. But look at it, isn't it beautiful? Isn't this stunning? I love it. I love stained glass, I love mosaic, and this ticks all the boxes. It's just beautiful. Look at it. Oh, so lovely. What's that there? Is that her signature? Yeah, it is. Here we go. Deborah Halpern. Absolutely adore it. Look at that. It's beautiful. This lady wants to take a photo, so I'll get out of her way. But yeah, look. All right. So now we start heading downhill. Path is going to take us down here, down the hill, and there's some more of the sculptures down there. So let's go. Venga. Okay, so we've got two photographers here. We just need to wait for them to move out of their way. And then we'll have, it's nice getting here nice and early. There's actually not too many people about. But we get to slow down as well and just really enjoy this beautiful countryside. Morning. Okay, I think this one's called Birds of a Feather. Just taking it a little bit slow. I did not want to fall over on my ankles. But here we go. Yeah, Birds of a Feather. Created this year. And up against the sky, it just looks magnificent. There we go. A couple of eagles maybe. Wonderful. Okay. I'm confident that these two people are going to be a little bit quicker than me, so I'll let them get ahead. And I know how much you guys all love seeing the Australian bush, so here you're really getting a good dose of it today. So Dungog, in the Indigenous language, means thinly wooded hills. And I think that's what we're looking at, pretty much. Yeah, we don't have to walk all the way down. I think probably what we're going to do in it is I'll get to the last bus stop and I'll take the shuttle bus the rest of the way. I don't think I'll walk all the way down because, as you say, it is a bit of a walk. And I'm just going to take it slow and we'll enjoy our beautiful surroundings here. Coming up here, when these two people move out of the way, what we have is our most famous bushranger, Ned Kelly. So Ned Kelly and his, I think he had two brothers and a friend, operated mainly around Victoria. He was Irish and famous for what he was wearing on his head was basically a tin bucket that he cut out the eye piece so that he could see. And you can see that there's a human head in there. You can see the eyes, look. And also famous for the gunfight where he was arrested at a place called Glenrowan in Victoria. And he spent the rest of his life in prison, basically. So yeah, Ned Kelly. Good morning.
Good morning.
Okay, it's warming up now and I'm dressed for the cold. So I've got a scarf, I've got a polar fleece jacket, and now it's starting to warm up. But yesterday it was freezing. That wind was so cold. I was hoping we might see some wildlife while we're here, but I'm actually not confident now that we will. As you all know, most of our wildlife is nocturnal or mainly comes out in the early morning or late afternoon, as in the wallabies and kangaroos. Snakes are just starting to wake up. There was a brown snake seen in this area a couple of days ago, so we'll keep our eye out for snakes. But again, I don't think we'll see one. And we'll also keep an eye out for any birds that we might see. So this one is called Between a Rock and a Hard Place. It's the last weekend of winter, Annette. I don't know if you can see that glass bird just up the top of the hill there. So yeah, it's the last weekend of winter for us. Tomorrow, 1st of September, is what we consider the start of spring, which is all very arbitrary, and of course it's different in different places. The indigenous peoples had different seasons depending on which part of the country they're in, and reflecting more what's going on in those areas. I've forgotten the name for these seasons in Awabakal, which is Newcastle, but I know they only have two. One's more kind of like the warm and wet, and the other's more like the cold and dry. So other parts of the country have as many as 6 seasons. So this is called a bridge too far. Okay. Oof. And there's a bit of a slalom course here for the mountain bike riders. You might be able to see the red and blue poles just here. Annette's just made a big comment, and I can't read it just at the moment because of the sun, but I'll get to it in a second. And I'm just taking the opportunity to pan around as well. Okay, so Annette says the young wildlife emerges in the afternoon, the old wildlife is awake for no reason at 6 a.m. like the rest of us old people. Okay, and I don't know if you can see there, but you can actually just make out tandem lovers and the bird of peace, the dove of peace, at the top of the hill there. So this one here, this is called blockout. Not sure what that refers to, but it's a big piece of timber that's been carved. Hello there. It's all right. And I was reading in the catalogue, which I didn't bring with me because I know I don't have an opportunity to read it while I'm here with you delivering a tour, but the artist says it can actually be incorporated into a building, into the structure of a building. So it's intended to be one of a bigger project, I guess, if you like. And over there we have the beautiful hills in the background. And next up, these two big metal balls. So it's called spheres, which is appropriate and descriptive. Just step back one more step. No shuttle bus is coming, but this gives me a chance to get a good angle for you. There we go. Okay. So if my memory serves me correctly, I think there's about 10 more sculptures ahead of us. Where that big dead tree is the final bus stop. So we go on beyond that, we see a few more, then we'll come back to that bus stop there, And how long have we been going? 30 minutes. Okay, so that works. That works out well. I think the timing is pretty good. And he says, nice to see rounded shapes, lots of verticals here. Yeah, that's true. So this one, reminds me of the earth ball from elementary school. Yeah. So this is, I think it's made of stone, carved out of, yeah, it feels like stone, granite maybe. And it's called Urban Fade, which is not helpful at all. I don't know what that means. Yeah, Urban Fade. There you go. Lots of crows I can hear in the background. This one has a really fun name. Now, okay, what do you guys call these things? Because it might not be, it may be meaningless if you call them something different to what we do. This one is also meant to be sat on and used, played on. Okay, do you call it a seesaw? We call it a seesaw. Yeah. Half-eaten glazed donut. So yes, it can be sat upon and ridden, and we call them seesaws. And the title is I see you, I saw you. I see you, I saw you. Teeter-totter. Oh, it is a seesaw. Okay, yeah. So the name. Okay, good. Yeah, I wasn't sure if it was called the same thing everywhere. So yeah, I see you, I saw you. Which makes more sense if there's actually two people sitting on it. But yeah, anyway, $17,000 for that piece of playground equipment in your backyard. There you go. And then next up, this is the one I borrowed from the event, the photo of this to use for my banner pick. And let's get it with a nice background behind it. But it's called UFO Utopia. Across the road for this. There we go. And if we move towards it, have it fill the screen. There's a shuttle bus heading towards me, so I'm not going to stay here long. There you go. UFO Utopia, this one's called. And it says, Annette says, I almost died half a dozen times when my brother would jump off the other side without warning. Yeah, didn't all big brothers do that? Okay. Now this is really interesting. It's not just a dead tree. The dead tree has become one of the artworks. And this is where you can actually see part of the artwork actually taking shape. So what's been done is, I guess it's been scorched, the grass here, to coincide with the shadow at a particular time of day. So you can see where the shadow is now and where the scorching is. It must have been done in the afternoon is my guess. And we'll get behind it and have a look, see if we can see what that looks like from up here. So there's the shadow and there's where the scorching is on the ground. And as I say, the sun has not quite reached the position where it would have been needed to be to actually perform this shape. And they've got a picture of it lined up with the shadow and the scorching there. And it's called The Spirit of the Tree. So that's it there. Looks like a Mickey Mouse spider, says Ronnie. I think that you mean the UFO one, yeah? And he says, oh, I really like that idea. Me too, Lynn, very creative. The resting place of the mean tree from The Wizard of Oz. There we go. I really like that. I think it's very cool. She says, I thought I saw a flying monkey cruise by. So this is the final bus stop, and then on from here there's about, I think there's about 6. So we'll go and have a look at those and then come back to the hay bales rather than walk the rest of the way down the hill, because the sculptures end beyond that. So this one here, we have a kangaroo with 2 little birds on his back. And you can see one of the birds tugging. So basically what it's referring to is the birds are plucking the fur from the back of the kangaroo, and it's called collecting fur to line the nest.
A metal kangaroo.
Did you all have a few drinks before this tour? Are you guys all drunk, are you? Bearing in mind that it's only 9:30 in the morning here. And then we can look back up towards the tree and the UFO, and then ultimately back up to the top of the hill behind the tree there. I wonder if the kangaroo sees the humour in that, says Tish. It's pretty cute, isn't it? There we go. I'll get down low and then you should be able to see the birds against the sky. All right. I overestimated. I think there's only 3 more. So this is meant to be a carved wooden log, a canoe shape, and they've used scorching techniques as well for the interior of the boat. Whoops, my gimbal's being silly. I don't think it would be a very good craft to actually navigate in. Wouldn't like to trust my life to that when it's just simply called canoe. Okay. Oh, I remember what's up here. That's right. I do remember what's up here. Because of course you see all these from the shuttle bus as you're coming up the hill, so I have seen what's here. Now I think this is a prize winner. This one we're now approaching. I think I read on Facebook this morning that this one has been nominated as a prize winner. And you can see when you get up close to it, just the detail in the carving. I'm not sure if it's wood. Is it wood? I mean, you assume that it's wood when you first see it, but now I'm not so sure. Yeah, okay, that's a bit of a giveaway, I think. But yeah, so that's that one there, and I think it's called First Meeting. Does it say? Yeah, the First Agreement it's called. So there we go. And Annette says, never drunk lean, just comfortably numb. Sounds like a Pink Floyd song. And then this one's called Brahman, which is a type of cattle we have in northern Australia. Tisha's got an earworm now. And then this is almost like the entry point, the portal to enter the sculpture trail. Just wait our turn. That's all right. It's called Venus. Now, I'm not sure I get the reference, but this one is called Venus. Yeah. Okay. So that's basically it. I'm going to catch the bus down the hill from here. We've been going 45 minutes, so it's not too bad. But since I've been resting my legs and ankles, I don't think I'll be doing myself any favours if I was to tackle the last part of the trail, and there's no more sculptures from here on till we get right down the bottom anyway. I will post photos on Facebook and in our group for the ones that grabbed my attention from the remainder of the event. There's some interesting outdoor ones, and there's some inside a marquee. So I'll share those with you when I get back home. So I think we're going to basically be in the car and heading home after this. But this is pretty. Here, look. Across the top of the... I don't know what these are. I thought they were rapeseed flowers, like canola. But I don't think they are. They look like more of a daisy. So that's what it looks like up close. So I actually don't know what these flowers are. But the indigenous yam has a very similar looking flower. But my understanding was that was actually an endangered plant species. Now, I don't know how common the actual indigenous yam is any longer. All right, what have I missed? Lynn says, thank you, Lynn. Wonderful tour. I'm glad you didn't blow away yesterday. And Ronnie says, must have taken ages to make these. Annette says, fantastic. You're very welcome. I think I missed one. Rather female. Oh, there's the bus. Okay, I don't know if these people are catching the bus, but I'd like to. Okay, I'm going to finish up, guys, because rather than get on, although I think I can manage it. Look, I don't know. I'll get on the bus with still going, okay? I'll just let him know. Uh-oh, there's another bus. Nearly got myself run over trying to catch this bus. That way I can actually show you some of the stuff down the bottom as well. Hi there. Hi. Oh. Okay. All right, we are road tripping. I need a drink of water. So that's what I would have had to walk down, and it was a bit far. Oh gosh, look at the queue for the bus now. We did this at exactly the right time. Thank you. Okay.
You might just want to walk out and pass the weekend here, right?
Yes, I will. Thank you. Oh. Radio.
How was it? Good?
Great, thank you.
Good on.
All right, so let's have a look down here. We have a glass display over there, which I'm not going to spend time on because I had a look in there and it's actually very small. So let's head down and have a look at the sculptures that are down here. We've got some music happening here, and then the remainder of the sculptures are all start about here. So this one ahead of us is called Campsites, and it refers to the song lines, the Aboriginal song lines. We'll see it when we get round the other side. So this is campsites, so those circles represent the actual campsites, and then that would be the track or the route between them. What do you have coming up, Lyd? I don't think I've got anything coming up in that. So I need to actually plan and do some more planning basically. A lot is, you know, guided by my ability now to walk any distance. But I am working on, I think Annette might be referring to what I mentioned to her that I am working on. I'm working on a story about missing diamonds in World War II and a plane crash, and a plane being shot out of the sky by Japanese and on a remote beach in Western Australia and all of that. So I'm working on doing that as a presentation from home. This one's called Opal. Hi Laurie. Just the Dove of Peace one looks like the big colourful parrot of peace. Hi Laurie, I'm just looking back through comments. I saw Tish mentioned the immersive. I don't think that guide had permission to do that, and very well, you take your chances when you do that. You take your chances if you go live under those situations, if you haven't got permission in advance. I think Annette said that she has permission, she knows the venue, and so that's not going to be a problem. And I'm really looking forward to it, Annette. It sounds amazing. Susanna did one, she had permission. She did the Sistine Chapel one, I think, didn't she? Does anyone remember? Or Van Gogh, or one of those? She might have done a couple, but she had permission. Okay, so this one's called Circe, C-I-R-C-E. How would you say that? That one says, where's the cork? I'm not going to take you around the whole exhibition because there's dozens of them, but I really like this one. And you'll see that it's 3 figures being held, balanced, and it's called Up, Up and Away. So you can see the larger figure at the bottom, a more feminine figure in the middle, and then a smaller figure at the top. I am really hot now. And there's a whole bunch here. Where's one of the ones that I really liked? Well, there's the pelican there. Oh, the kookaburra. Let's go see the kookaburra. Where is it now? Oh, there it is. Okay, so we've got pelican here. It's fabulous.
Oh, Mr. Percival.
Mr. Percival.
Out of Stormboy.
Yeah. We've got the eagle here. And then over here we've got a kookaburra. And I really like the way this has been made with the different layers. I know there's a word for that. It's a bit like an MRI. And then these birds have all been made out of chicken wire and painted. Okay. And then we have more here. That flower wasn't in the middle yesterday, it was right over on the side. And then in that marquee there's a whole lot more. Does anyone remember sculpture at Scratchley a couple of years ago that I did? Fort Scratchley, and one of the highlight pieces was the horse. This is a smaller version of it. I can't see your comments at the moment because the screen's too bright. And some of these pieces weren't out yesterday because of the wind, so this one here, for instance, was in the marquee yesterday. Yeah, well done, Annette. Exactly. I mean, that's the key, isn't it? You get permission. If you don't get permission, you know, you wear the risk. So, and this is our welcome. This is the fellow that welcomes us as we enter. All right, I'm going to get into the shade to turn around. I look like a sweaty mess, but I'm going to turn around and say goodbye. Richard's here. He chickened out and called the bus down. No, he walked down. Hang on, trying to get this to turn around. Okay, there we go. All right, so that was the large pieces of the sculpture trail. There's so much more to this, but I'm worn out. I need water. It's hot. And I think we both need coffee. So,
They've started singing.
yeah, and the singing is drowning us out. So, all right, everyone. Thank you so much again for joining us. Did I miss anything? Oh, Van Gogh. Yeah, that was Van Gogh. Yeah. All right. That just about covers all the chat, I think. The singing, well, I don't know. Yeah. I'm sure they'll get better as they warm up. All right, everyone, thanks. And as soon as I've got that plane crash diamond heist tour all ready and put together, I will post it and let you know when that's coming up. I'll try for this week, but I don't think I'm going to get a chance to this week. I'm going to head down and I've got something I need to do with my mum over a couple of days, so that's going to keep me busy and out of action for a couple of days. All right, thanks everyone, and I will wave goodbye to you now. What was that? That's Rebecca Murphy. Thank you so much, Lynn. Very enjoyable. You're very welcome. And it says you did a great job the other day, Richard. He says thank you. Okay, bye everyone. Mime rehearsing. Okay, bye everyone.